Okay, so this video covers the Panzer IV hatch detailing, and you're gonna want your strip of 2mm cereal box that you used for the chassis detailing or suspension detailing. You're gonna want as thin of a strip of cereal box cardboard as you can cut. And I recommend actually kind of infusing it with 2-to-1 glue before using it and then letting it harden, just so it doesn't sort of delaminate on you. And I've got a couple of strips of cue card paper, like as thin as I could cut them, and a short strip of 2mm wide cue card paper. So, just gonna jump right in here, starting at the front. With the 2mm strip of cue card paper. Basically what you want to do is cut squares, so 2mm by 2mm squares, approximate. And take your 4-to-1 glue. I'm just going to put those. Now, if you're using the original template rather than the modified one, you're not going to be really following very closely the symbols on the model. Follow what I do, and it'll be more accurate. So just set that so it's kind of overhanging the edge. And then once it dries in place on the driver's hatch, you're going to squash that end down a bit. And do the same for the machine gunner's hatch. Just kind of half on, half off. Then afterwards, you'll squash it down. Okay, and we're going to take this 2mm strip of cereal box, and the same kind of way we cut. Well, no, actually it's different. It's more similar to, well, just kind of a little bit bring in the sides, but not nearly as much as you did before. You don't want to bring it to a point, really. Just kind of making a bit of a triangle. Cut it off. Try to get it nice and even. You may have to cut a few before they look really even. They're not even, they'll look kind of funny. Actually, did a pretty good job here. And you want to install it so that the wider end, you can install it on these drivers and machine gunner hatch here. So the wider end is facing backwards. Right on the square symbol there. So the square is inaccurate, it's actually more of an almost, or a blunted triangle on each of them. Okay, and I'll fix that symbology on the new template. Okay, so now we're going to go to these the hull hatches here. I'm going to just remove this for a second. And we're going to cut these little things. Just going to cut basically 2mm long slices of this. You can just kind of estimate it. You're going to need 4 of them. And glue them to the top of the hatch, but not quite down to the hull yet. Kind of overhanging halfway. Look, I know this isn't super easy to do, and it seems like, wow, this piece is going to sort of be invisible. But you can see them in the end. It's worth doing. But you can consider this optional if you wish. Put both of these on there. Set them in place. So just push them down onto the hatch. But don't try to fold them down yet until they're totally set in place. Now you want to take your extremely thin piece of cardboard and just cut a little square, or even smaller than that. Just a tiny little piece. You're going to want a couple of those. I'm just going to install them, actually, not where this symbol is, but behind the outermost hinge. Okay. Now, you got the turret hatches to do next. Let's do the hatch for... Okay, so we're going to cut a triangle now, but again, blunted, out of cue card paper. And that is the hatch hinge here. Oh, I'm not really happy with that shape. Cut another one quick. It was too sharp, I think. Yeah, that's a nicer piece. So this one, just go ahead and attach it to both. So press it down on both, so it kind of follows the shape of the hull, or the hatch rather. And now we're going to need a bunch more of these, approximately 2 millimeters long. I guess 3 more at 2 millimeters for the ration box. If you've built a ration box, that is. It is optional. Some of them didn't have it, so perfectly legitimate not to include it. Those hinges are in the correct spot. Okay, and so these hatches on the side now, and I believe that's it. Now, you're going to want 6, but not 2 millimeters. Just make them basically little squares, or 1 millimeter, 1.5 millimeter rectangles. And you want a total of 6. Oh, no, you want 12. So you're going to put 3 evenly spaced on each side. So I'm just going to put them in place, and then I'm going to use the thing to adjust them. It's kind of easier to see where they need to go when they're all on there. Although if you're using the finished template, there will be symbols there for you. But if you're following along the videos right now, there's only 2 symbols rather than 3. So I am only going to show this on one side, actually. This video is probably entering into the too long to watch stage, so set those in place. And now on the, I believe, the front door, but not both doors, you want to put another one of these little square bits of cereal box. It's basically as small as you can cut as a handle. So on both sides, it's the front door that gets this, not the back door as shown in the model. And just put it right in the center, not slightly up from the center as it's shown in the original template, although if you're using the modified template, it will be in the correct position. Okay, and now that these have probably dried enough, what you basically want to do is just water this glue down a little bit. Slip some glue underneath these. And hopefully these are dry enough that they don't pop off. And just press them down. And do that for all of the hinges, including a little bit on these hatch ones, although they'll just kind of fold over onto the cardboard rather than actually bridging down onto the turret. But that's fine, that's what they're supposed to look like. You can kind of do that with these too, although you can't really fit glue under there. But you can squish them down and they makes them look a little bit more like hinges. Alright, and that gets you detailing for the hatches. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the website, and have a great day. Bye-bye.